Hello everyone and welcome into another video. And listen, this C code is really simple. Oh, they already clicked off the video. Like, what am I supposed to do? I mean, can you really blame them? You're showing them a bleeping C code, alright? This is a computer science video, okay? Like, have you ever tried doing it with something different than C code? You know, the language understood only by really advanced programmers and computer scientists? Like what? I don't know, maybe something that more relatable. Yeah, like what? Like music, for example. You know music, right? You did do music. Music, you say? It's worth a shot. Hello everyone and welcome into another video, and this music you hear in the background is actually really simple. Yeah, so hello everyone and welcome into another video where I'll explain to you how to make some good music, and this actually will be a pretty much perfect analogy for how programming languages are not complicated. Yeah, I was surprised too, but it seemed like a good idea. So, let me teach you a thing or two about music.
So let's start with a piano, because piano is the most straightforward instrument. It is really easy to explain how music works with a piano because, well, every single different key is a different note. But now that I'm playing these notes, you can kind of hear that they are weird, not really... They don't sound good, let's be real here. And that's because normally in music you don't just play every single note, you play specific notes. But which ones? Well, in order to explain that, I'll have to tell you about the octaves. Now, octaves sound like this. Pretty neat, right? Well, it is pretty neat because every single one of these is the same note. You can see that on this really nice piano pattern. All of them are on the same beginning of the octave. And because of that, these are basically the same notes. This is C3, this is C4, this is C5. Now, based on these octaves, we can play a scale, which sounds a bit better. Now, this was a C major scale. Why C major? Because we started with a C, and then we played it in a major key, which basically means happy. But one thing that's really important to keep in mind is the fact that you do not have to start at C every single time. This is just an example that I chose for this video. But you can play the major scale anywhere. We continue this pattern of playing empty, playing empty, playing, playing empty, playing empty, playing empty, playing, playing. Then we can do it anywhere. For example, D major. Playing empty, playing empty, playing, playing empty, playing empty, playing empty, playing, playing. So just keep in mind that if you keep the spaces in between the keys correct, then you can play the same thing anywhere on the keyboard.
Yeah, chords are pretty neat and they work actually everywhere. You can do C major, F major, E major. It works. But there's something even better. Do you remember this? A way to play some notes that sounds in a happy way? Well, there's actually more to it. There is the tonic, subdominant and dominant. 3 different chords. Look like this. That's nice. Now it is really basic, and once you listen to a couple of songs with them, then you realize just how basic it is, but it's still really neat for impressing your friends really easily. Just pick any note. D, alright. Works everywhere. So what's the problem? I mean, if it works everywhere, it must be great. Well, the problem is actually simple. When you're making songs with them, it sounds like this. That is pretty terrible, but just to, showcase how terrible it is, let me compare it to some actual good music, like Overload by Sodaguyz.
Actually, while we're at it, why not just ask sodaguyz for their opinion? I mean...
Alright, so let's do it. Let's ask the very talented music maker and my very good friend sodaguyz what they think. Let me just call them. Right. Probably busy or something. They should pick up any minute. Just give them a second, probably, you know, it's doing something, maybe baking cookies. Or... Come on, come on. Just give them a second. They should pick up. Okay. Yeah, let me just check my PayPal. Right. $20. So yeah, I did ask Soda a couple of questions. They agreed to the interview, and I definitely didn't have to bribe them. So the first question: how do you come up with the melody for Overload? I mean the 016 melody. Sounds like this. Okay, that's enough. If you want to listen to the song, then go for it. Link is in the description. How do you usually make chord progressions? Very important. How would you improve your earlier pieces? And how does it feel to have a growing channel which has only 2 videos with less than 100 views uploaded in the last 5 months? Not one of them being Naked Theme yet. In the last 5 months, and the video is not performing well. So here are their responses.
Trial and error. I didn't have anything really set in my head. I just built a melody up on top of the chords I had already laid down.
So that's really useful, because what that basically means is that the chord progression was the base, and then they just sprinkled in some of their secret sauce.
It really depends. On a lot of my more recent pieces like Groove, Rush, and Overload, I've started with a bass line and built everything on top of it, alternating with the B section. I don't rely much on specific keys or scales besides the blues scale.
Now that's really useful to keep in mind, because remember when I showed you the scale-based chords? Here's a reminder. Well, yeah, actually, dare I say, professional music makers don't rely on them because they are pretty primitive, really easy to impress someone the first glance, but they don't make for good music.
I generally polish them, update the old VSTs and sound fonts and things I used in them, and improve any blatant mistakes, like the background moon guitar in triple digit.
I really wanted to put this question in because sodaguyz said Polish, which is a reference to country of Poland, in which...
Fine, I guess. I don't think my channel is growing at a very fast pace.
Well, yeah, it's not growing at a fast pace if you compare it to some big channels like, I don't know, Mr. Beast or something, but trust me, it is growing really quickly in comparison to other channels.
As it's taken me a lot of time to get to this point. I'm happy that I have a community of people and channel regulars around my stuff though.
Channel regulars, as Soda nicely put it, are really nice, and here I would like to give a big shout out to Elliot Dedoche and Crimpy, who's been with me for a long time and has helped me tremendously on many live streams, and is basically a really cool guy to talk to, and Elliot, who is currently responsible for like 90% of the views this channel has. Thank you, lads. This one... So there we go, that's how you make music, that's how you make them musics. But obviously there's one more, tiny little question left, there's tiny little, What does it have to do with the C code? I mean, oh my goodness, we started with C code, like, how is it related? That's the point of this video, right? Well, don't worry, because I'm getting there, that's what this segment is all about, because you see, this music that I showcased you throughout the entire video is actually quite similar. When you stumble across some code like this, right, it may look impressive on the first glance. But when you start to listen in, you quickly realize that it's pretty boring. Now when you stumble across something like this, it looks just as impressive, right? For an untrained eye, for someone who has no programming background, it looks the same, But here's the thing, it's still not as great as it could be. And that wouldn't be a problem until you realize that if all of these things look the same, then when you stumble across something that's actually pretty decent, then you won't realize it. You won't find the difference between these three things. And that is a problem because really often that's how legal scams happen. That's what I call it, at least, when someone tries to convince you that they are great based on something that's really mediocre, because they exploit the fact that you don't know the subject. And it will always happen. We can't know everything. So what can we do to prevent this? Well, here's the thing. Always ask for a second opinion. And I do mean it. Always. It never hurts. Programmers have really specific egos, and when you ask programmer what's wrong with this code, it will be kind of a challenge for them to tell you every single minute flaw they can find, because it's impossible that there's someone out there who's smarter than me. And that's actually really useful. When you find some video online of someone, showcasing you their code, telling you how it's great, how they made it in just an hour, just ask someone else for a second opinion. And they'll tell you right away that it's probably just clickbait and it's actually not that difficult. Now, of course, that always only happens when it comes to older people, right? My code is amazing. It's just sick. It's great. Yeah, it's amazing. You don't have to double check it. It's great. I'm telling you, it's really good code. It's some really good code, and you could go to GitHub and start my thing before you could be the first one, because yeah, it's some really good, high sophisticated code. Now when it comes to this code, I'll explain to you how it works in the next video, because yes, I'm doing series now. For some reason, dividing things into three is fun. Okay, listen, if you don't like the fact that I'm doing series, okay, then you don't have to write a comment. Yeah. You can go to my Discord server and say it to my face. Now if you do actually like the fact, then may I suggest my Patreon, where you can donate some money to me and get some sweet tears in return. And if you still have some money left over and you don't want to donate it to me because, well, I understand, then may I suggest https://makeit.charity/ you can donate some money to charity and get a slice of pie for yourself. Once again, that's https://makeit.charity/ you can donate some money to charity DBS Alliance and get a slice of pie for yourself. Like learn more, then I suggest my daily charity checkup live streams, where I stream every day for charity until I die. For now, that'll be it. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.